Welcome everybody, I'm Killzone Zone, and today we're going to be talking about the Avengers. So, when it comes to the Avengers, I feel like there was no better option to start out the original six, right, for the MCU. We got Iron Man, we got Cap, we got Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye, right? And when it comes down to it, they are always, no matter what MCU characters go into the Avengers, they will always be the best Avengers. They will always be the original six for a reason. Them being the original six makes sense because at the end of the day, someone like SpiderMan, even though I love him, would not have worked as the original six. Black Panther would not work as the original six. Captain Marvel wouldn't work, and neither would Doctor Strange. And I'm going to explain why the original six are the best. When it comes to the original six, they are the most relatable, right? We can look at Hulk, right? And Hulk looks at himself as a monster. He looks at someone, he's in deep depression. He looks at himself as someone that can only do harm to others, right? But he comes across a bunch of other people that are also damaged in their own different ways that accept him and make him feel like he's needed, like he's wanted, like he's cared about. And, he feels like he's got a family, right? And that's different than feeling like you're a monster, feeling like you don't, bring anything to the world except, disgust, right? And for people that are depressed, you can look at the Hulk and be like, yo, I can relate to you. I can't relate to turning into a green rage monster, but I can relate to you. Then we got Iron Man. A man that has made plenty of mistakes. And the problem is that he didn't realize that his mistakes were so severe until he witnessed them himself. And I've seen people that can relate to that. They can relate to the fact of doing something wrong, but they didn't know it was wrong because they were just naive. They just weren't really thinking of the consequences. They just did it. And I can understand that because he then turns around and tries to change his life around because he made those mistakes. And he does successfully do that. Then we got Black Widow. Black Widow is someone that, was forced into doing heinous things, bad things. And at the end of the day, after doing those horrible things, felt like she couldn't be loved again. Felt like she couldn't be happy again. But then she came across the Avengers and was happy. Then we got Hawkeye. Hawkeye literally will put his life on the line for his family. That's it. Like, he will sacrifice himself for absolutely his family. Like, he will do it. And he even did so in Age of Ultron for a kid. Like, he will put his life on the line if it means he will save his family. And he's done that. He's obviously done that. And any family man will probably do the same thing. Then we have Cap. Cap, when it comes down to him, he's got a moral code. He's got a moral compass. And even though people could say, well, he never changes or whatever, he does. Because he at first is disillusioned. He just goes with what people tell him. People tell him, hey, look, this and this is good, you should believe this. And he's naive at first and believes it. But then he starts to realize corruption, he starts to realize bad things, and he begins to stick to his own moral code and believes that he should stick to his beliefs. And most of the time, his beliefs are correct. Again, people can relate to that. And then lastly, Thor. Thor is someone that has always wanted his dad's approval at the end of the day. He wanted his dad's approval. He wanted his dad to be proud of him. And the same thing can go for Loki. Because both of them are basically like the same character. Both of them wanted their parents' approval a lot. They really did. They wanted to live up to their parents' expectations. And you can always, feel like that. You can feel like, oh, I want to live up to my parents' expectations, but sometimes you feel like you fall short. Sometimes they have to punish you in order to teach you a lesson. And you can actually real deal relate with that. Anyone can, to be honest. And when it comes to those Avengers, all of them, even though they have different backgrounds, different, little different flocks of life, different abilities, etc., they all come together and they feel like they're a unit. They feel like they're a family at the end of the day. And they mesh so well. Which is why at the end of the day, I don't see how anyone else could replace the original six. Because if we look at the new heroes that are going to take up the mantle of the new Avengers, right? We look at Doctor Strange. Okay, he's a doctor. Okay, I guess you can relate to that. But he's not a doctor anymore. He is just a doctor by name. All he does is magic. You can't compare him to a magician because magician does fake shit. Then Doctor Strange literally warps reality. So you can't really relate to him. Then you have Spider-Man. Sure, people can relate to him sort of if he was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man. If he was the first Spider-Man, yes. Oh, great. He'd be amazing for the original six Avengers. Someone that's poor, someone that's down on their luck, someone that has made a mistake and costed someone their life. but then realizes that he needs to make up for his mistakes by making sure that it never happens again. That would fit great with the original 6 Avengers. Shit, that would fit in great. Make it the original 7 if he was Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. But the MCU Spider-Man, while I love him, that is not going to work. Because at the end of the day, he's not poor. He's poor because they say it every now and then in some wording. They don't show it like they do with Tobey Maguire's. They just say, oh yeah, we're poor, we're down on our luck, oh I went to the dumpster. They show it, they don't tell us. They tell us, they don't show. And the problem with it is that when it comes to him, he's not really poor because all his tech and gear comes from Iron Man. At the end of the day, while he's not a spoiled kid, he gets spoiled by a rich man, even in death. And then Captain Marvel. Okay, what about her? She has no personality and she just has omnipotent power. Okay, what am I supposed to compare her to? A politician? I don't know what the fuck to compare her to. And then you have Black Panther. Black Panther, you can't really relate to him either. I mean, you could say something along the lines of like, he just wants to make his family and, you know, everyone that believes in him proud. Sure, you could say that. But then again, he's the king of a whole entire nation. So, like, if you take that out, and you take out the riches and all that, which makes up the character, what do you have? Oh, he just wants to make his family proud. Okay, like, really, to be honest, the riches in the nation make up Black Panther more than him wanting to, you know, live up to his family's expectations, unlike Thor and the others, you know? And that's why I feel like no matter what, the original 6 Avengers will always be the best set of Avengers. The same things go for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Those original Guardians of the Galaxy will always be the best Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And the thing is that, you know, even though we're going to get a whole bunch of new Avengers and all of that, even though we're going to move on, get our new team, get our probably even more powerful team, at the end of the day, you just can't replace the original 6. That's just how it is. So with that, guys, when it's one video to close, don't forget to like this if you did. Don't share this wonderful video with your friends. Don't just... you know, I'm tongue-tied. You know what? Peace, guys.